We are now joined by KZN COGTA spokesperson Siboniso Mngadi, who joins us live now. Siboniso, thank you so much for your time. So we've just heard now from our senior reporter Jade Polster, who of course has been visiting several areas in KZN, and I mean the picture is dire. Just talk to us about the extent of the damage according to yourselves and the assessments that you have been able to do in the various areas, particularly the most affected.
Yeah, well, a dire situation indeed. Our team, we've received calls as early as 8 o'clock last night. People calling for help in other areas in Tongat area, Velerem, in northern part of KwaZulu-Natal. Also, we also received call in the areas of Indwedwe, in under Ilembe district as well as Istenga. So this morning, our teams went to various areas trying to provide the relief that the reporter is talking about. We're working together with our social partners such as Red Cross, Dad Foundation, IPSS Medical Rescue to start operation to look for those that are still missing. Unfortunately, at this stage, we have not consolidated the total number of people that have been confirmed to have passed away and those that are missing. We are still encouraging people to report if they've not seen their loved ones since last night, particularly in areas that were most hardest hit by this flood. In eThekwini Metro, so far the reports that we've received, over 300 homes have been affected by water. Several roads have been also closed off. Some were washed away. Our teams are continuing with assessment, but we are also on the other side providing the disaster relief in the form of blankets, mattresses, and box B, which contains all the amenities that the human beings need on a daily basis. The MEC for COGTA, Bong Westolium has also activated other departments such as human settlement and social development that will assist us in terms of making sure that we replace the IDs, those that have lost IDs and SASSA card speedily so that they can be able to access their grants, those that need them for grants and all those other assistance. Those that suffered damages on their properties, we are also working with the human settlement that will intervene in that part to ensure that we assist those that we can assist to rebuild their houses. We have also interacted with the Department of Education because there are also schools that have been affected. But there are also infrastructure such as power lines, ESCOM, have also been activated to ensure that we try and restore power in several areas. The disaster teams working with all the municipalities that have been affected are on the ground trying to provide the assistance that is needed. We also understand that some areas are not accessible at this stage due to fallen trees to the road, and some of the roads have been damaged. So we'll try to send the water tankers to all communities that were affected by the flood and where the water infrastructure was damaged.
So you mentioned schools, and I'm particularly interested in that, seeing that schools will be reopening this week. Do you know at this stage how many schools have been damaged, and are they damaged to the extent that they will not be able and are not conducive for learning this week?
Well, the assessment is still underway, but the Department of Education is the matter that is working on to address today. On instances where we've been hit by the flood, the province make use of the mobile classroom to ensure that the teaching and learning continues despite this devastation. However, the Department of Education will address that matter going forward.
So, I mean, the last time we spoke to you, you were still assessing the damage that we saw not too long ago in December in Ladysmith, where 25 people had died. And of course, in the province, over 30 people died because of the inclement weather, particularly flooding. So talk to us about that situation in Ladysmith in terms of what you are currently doing as a department. What have you assessed, in terms of the damage, and also what you are going to be doing, particularly on a long-term basis, because every December, January period, these stories, these devastating stories, are playing out. And of course, at the other end of the disaster, we're talking about victims here, as we've seen in that report by my colleague Jade, the woman actually saying, that they still have not received any form of support, that they have nothing. You know, they don't have a roof over their heads, they don't have clothes, they don't have food.
Well, in terms of assisting the victims, as I've said before, that our teams are on the ground. We've started distributing the relief this morning. I'm certainly sure that by the end of the day, they would have reached a household and also provide the relief. Our team has spread throughout the province because there's quite a number of areas that have been affected. So we'll ensure that everyone got the mattresses and blankets at least for today to have a place to sleep overnight. But then going back to the issue of Ladysmith, yes, Ladysmith, we've been there several times. This department also working together with the municipality to assess the cause of that incident that claimed so many lives. There were interventions that were made in the area of Ladysmith, such as adding valve in the Kretusisi Dam that is located just above the town, which was overflowing towards the town and then makes the town flooded. However, it has been clearly that those interventions were not enough, and then now we are looking into other options in terms of expanding more on the water drainage system to ensure that to reduce the water levels that are flowing down to the Klip River and Bellspruit River that are causing serious flooding in that town.